Hey YouTube, it's Moisha Marie and I'm back with another video. So in this video I'm going to be braiding my hair into this ponytail. Now this hairstyle, I've done this before, but I didn't use any added connectline hair, and it didn't turn out too good. My hair is it's on the big side, just a little bit. So when I did it the first time and I didn't add any hair, it looked really childish kind of. So I was like, let me try it again. So here's a picture of me, I think it was a year ago when I did this hairstyle. I didn't like it too much, so I decided to give it another try. So I'm going to give y'all some tips if you're interested in trying to do this yourself. Now, I started off by putting circle in the top of my head of where I want my ponytail to be, and also split my hair into 4 sections. No matter what you're doing, if your hair natural, if you feel like it's even a little bit unmanageable, split it into 4 sections. It always works. So this is going to help me to make sure I get the right amount of braids on each side and the same amount for each section. Now, I've always known how to braid my hair up in the back. A lot of people have issues with that, but I think, honestly, I can't tell you how to do it. Just practice make perfect, so you just have to keep trying. Now, for a long time, I wasn't able to add hair into my head while braiding up to the back, but I actually just figured it out when I was doing my hair into this style. I kept trying because I knew I wanted this hairstyle so bad, and it took a long time. It took like, I want to say about 3.5 hours to do this. Probably more. 4 max. But this is something that I'll be able to leave in for at least a month or 2. Hopefully. But anyway, I started off by sectioning my hair to 4 sections. And then I started in the middle at the top. Now, with this second braid that I'm doing now, I noticed like the first braid, when I started braiding, your fingers kind of slide back, and it don't look like it's braided all the way starting at the tip. So one thing I did to help me get that braided look from the tip, like from the edge all the way to the back, I took some hair and I sectioned it off, and then I kind of braided as if I'm going to do an individual braid, and then after about 8 plaits, I'll go into the cornrow, and that helps me get that braid effect from the edge all the way to the back. Okay, so if you have thick hair, or if you just have a normal head of hair, when you do this hairstyle, if you're trying to make it look natural, you don't want to add a lot of hair because it's gonna look too fat and chunky. And also, you have to remember that you don't want to run out of room at the top where that circle is. That's where all your braids are gonna meet. So if you're adding hair, you're making them bigger at the middle, and then you're putting less hair at the edges, more hair toward the middle. So you don't want to make them too big. Your crown area will get crowded, and you'll run out of space to add more braids. And another tip, when you're parting, the best thing to do is when you start the part like toward that circle, try to go over toward the last braids that you just did. Try to start close as possible to that, and because you don't need a lot of space going toward the middle. You want to make sure every braid meets at that circle, and you don't want to run out of room. If you do, you're going to be borrowing space from another section, which means you're really just going to push all your braids over, and it's kind of going to create a swirl effect if you don't make enough space. So I don't know if I explained that, if it made sense. So basically, when you start the part, start it as close as possible to the last braid that you just did, and that's just to make sure you don't run out of room toward the center where the braids are going to meet. Now, this video is really for anyone who's trying to who already know how to braid their hair going up in the back. I don't know if a lot of people do know how to do that or not. But this video is not really for. I really can't explain how to braid going up. I'll make a video on that if enough people want to know how I do it, like in depth. But this is really to help people who already know how to braid going up in the back, and then who need help feeding in the hair in the back. Because that was my issue. I saw a lot of videos. I did a lot of research because I really like this hairstyle, and I was trying to find out what's the best way to feed in the hair going up in the back. I know how to feed in hair in the front, on the sides. I know how to braid up in the back, but I did not know how to. I don't think I could find one video on how to feed in hair. I don't remember if I found one video on how to feed in hair going up toward the back. So that's really where I had my struggle with. All right, so if you're trying to braid your natural hair and you don't blow dry, I don't never blow dry my hair or do nothing as far as applying heat before I braid my hair. I use I use a leave-in conditioner. That's always helpful. Water-based if you can. Now, water-based conditioners will revert your hair to the natural curls, but at the end of the day, this is a protective style. Would you rather moisturize it or blow dry it, right before protective? When you put a protective style in for a month or two, the last thing you don't want to do is put heat in it. You want to put moisture in it. So if you can find moisturizer, put the moisturizer in your hair, but use like the Shiner Gel was really helpful for me. The more product I use, it smooths out the hair for me, so I don't have to, do all that extra stuff. But hair products, that's going to be your best friend when you're trying to braid your hair like this in a natural state, in a curly state. So that's one good tip. Now, the Shiner Gel is what I use to clean up my parts and make sure my hair is all the little short pieces are together. But my leave-in conditioner I used was the Small Professionals with natural shea butter, and it has pure coconut oil. Now, this is a water-based conditioner. You can tell because if you flip it upside down, it's like it's gonna pour out. The first ingredient is water, and it's very it make my hair really soft. And one thing I noticed about this stuff, when I take my braids out, there's still I wash my hair with my braids in. Even with my twist that I had in, I think I washed my hair at least 3 or 4 times because I cut my grass and stuff, and all that grass and dirt be flying everywhere. So I wash my hair a lot when I put my braids in. But when I take them out, that moisture be locked in. It be locked in those twists or those braids or whatever. Now, I still moisturize lightly after I shampoo my hair. But it's it's different than just moisturizing. So I can tell a lot of that moisture was from the initial leave-in when I first do the braids, because when your hair braided, you can't really put moisture in it like you want to. So you really want to make sure you put the leave-in conditioners, whatever you want to use, on your hair before you braid it up. Now, when I was braiding my hair, when I got toward the end, I didn't go all the way to the tip of the ends of my hair because I knew I wanted to feed in more hair to make the braids look longer. I wanted to get them all in my head first, and then I was going to work one by one to feed in the hair to make the braids, each one longer. Now, if I was doing somebody else's hair like this, I wouldn't even use short pieces to feed in on the scalp braids. I would just use the long hair and just continue the braid all the way to the tip of the extension. Because I wanted, when I did put the feed in the braids, I wanted to look seamless. I didn't want it to look like I stopped and then, added more hair. So, but it's going to be a lot harder, I know for me anyway. If you're trying to use long hair, braiding it, doing scalp braids like this, it'll tangle so much and just get in the way. That's why you want to cut it and use short pieces to give the illusion that you have long feed-in braids, but you really just adding short pieces of hair to make your scalp braids look a little thicker. Now, after about 3 or 4 braids, I was really getting comfortable with braiding my hair and then feeding in the hair. So the front, I think the front really didn't take me too long. It was really the back. That's what took most of my time, because like I said, I was still trying to learn. I had figured it out how to feed the hair in and go up toward the in the back of my head, but I was still learning how to do it as I was trying to, do my hair. So it took some time in the back, but the front, I was on the roll. I was gone. Another thing you can do to help take your mind off of how much time it's taking to do your hair, find a video, like whatever hairstyle you're doing on your head. Find a video or some videos that's related to that style or similar to the style, because that's all I was watching on YouTube, and I was just like, oh, she did hers a little different, just watching different videos, and that's inspiration, anything that's going to inspire you to help you keep going. Because honestly, I don't even be want to change my hair up until I see somebody do a hairstyle, and I'd be like, you know what, I want to do that to my hair. And then, like, that's where the inspiration come from. So if you get stuck in the middle of your hairstyle and you be tired and you feel like giving up, watch some more videos of somebody else doing that same particular hairstyle. And I promise you, it works. It works for me. I was just getting through it. So it helps, and it helps you not pay attention to how much time you've been doing your hair. Now, I've been watching over and over Crowned K here on YouTube. This girl, her channel is called Crowned K, and she did this hairstyle, and it was so pretty. She used a ponytail to put on the end of her braids, but I didn't want to use a ponytail. I just wanted to use normal, just feed in braids. But yeah, her video really helped me. I was inspired. I kept watching it whenever I get stuck or trying to figure out something, or just a pattern, even though it's a really simple pattern. But I just had to keep watching different videos, and that one was the main one really that helped me get started, I know. And then also I kept seeing this one picture. I'm gonna insert this picture right here. Now, I saved this picture. I got it off Pinterest, and I saved it to my photos on my phone. And I literally been stalking this picture, just looking at it almost every week, and just like, I'm gonna do this one day. And I actually did do it, but like I said, I didn't feed in hair because I didn't really know what I was doing. But that picture was so I was determined to get that hairstyle. And I honestly don't even think I have it exactly like that, because my braids are a little bit bigger, and my parts are a little bigger. But like I said, this is the first time doing it, so I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna keep doing it until I get it right, because it's just so pretty. You know how do you find that hairstyle? You were like, I got to do that. I had to. Okay, y'all, and I wasn't trying to talk this whole video, but I just feel like it's a lot of information that's helpful if you're trying to do this. But anyway, here I'm starting to do the back going up. Now on the side, I did 2 of them. I think on the side, like right above my ear, I was still braiding as if they were in the front. But then, like in the back, you have to totally change your braid. The way you hold your fingers and stuff is just totally different. But I had to use a mirror to see the back when I do the parts. And I felt like my parts needed to be as clean as possible. Because even though my parts were clean, and even though I used a shiny jam to separate them, when you braiding and you really can't see like right up on it, I was still grabbing hair from the side, like that was just the loose hair. I was still grabbing it somehow, so I would have to pull it back, like after I finish, or use my comb to kind of pull the hair back up out of there, because this hairstyle is so like, I just feel like I need to be picky and have my parts really straight. It mattered to me because it was just so precise, you know. And plus, if you're gonna take your time and do this, do it like right and do it perfect, as perfect as you can. You know, it ain't perfect, but I just try my best to do it as best as I could because it took too much time. Okay, so now if you already know how to braid going up in the back and you need help feeding in the hair in the back, the only thing I did, now it's gonna sound real simple, but it might be hard to do it. But the only thing I did, I took the added hair, I put it underneath my middle finger, and I literally just kept braiding as if, as if you're not feeding it hair. So if you look closely here, I just lift my finger, put it underneath, and just keep going. And that's it. That's all I had to do. It was that simple. And then, like, when you keep going, you're grabbing the new piece and just keep going. You really can't think too much about it. Just do it. Because if you overthink it, I think that's where we mess up at.